Good morning, everybody. Seems that everyone is having, not everyone, but some of you guys are having issues opening up the video, and I think it's due to how long the video is. So the first video is about 26 minutes. I'm going to try to abbreviate this one and shorten it, and cover just the essentials, so you can cover or you can complete your homework tonight. Okay. So going into your classroom. Okay. I just recently posted about the video about an hour and a half ago or so. Um, and I'm going to post this new one here in a second. But people yesterday were telling me that they were having issues, viewing the video for some reason, whether that is it wouldn't download, it wouldn't process, whatever it was. So I'm just going to make a new one, and hopefully this one will work a little bit better. Okay. So this is to cover this assignment. So week one, assignment two, carbohydrates poplet. All right. So what you guys are doing, maybe I didn't explain this well enough in the first video, um, but you are taking your notes that we have here, okay, and especially, well, at least this time, just the ones revolving around the carbohydrates, okay. Um, where are we at here? So just the carbs is what you're updating your poplet on, okay? And then, the next assignment next week is going to be covering the proteins, okay? As well as the fats. And then, we'll keep doing that same thing until we have all 6 key nutrients covered, okay? Um, but for your homework that is due today, the 19th, all you have to have on there is your carbs, okay? So let's just start there. All right, so here we have our poplet, and on that video, the first video, I told you that there's really 2 ways to do this, and there's no wrong way to do it. So just because I don't do something that makes sense to you doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong, okay? So I'm going to show you 2 ways that I have seen this done in the past. So first off, your header here, so 6 key nutrients, okay? And then we're going to branch off into our 6 key nutrients. So we have our carbohydrates, we have our fats, aka lipids, okay, brings us to proteins, if I could spell. And now it doesn't have to be in this order at all, guys. I'm just putting it on here as it comes to my mind, okay? So, however this starts is probably not going to be how it finishes, like I mentioned in the video before. Um, these are fairly close together, but you can zoom in and out. Here, you can see this. You can zoom in and out as much as you want, and especially with you guys, yours is touchscreen, so you can move it all around, and blow it up and follow your branches off. Okay. So we have carbs, fats, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and the last one is water. Okay, and we actually won't get into water a whole lot. Center this up. Okay, so you can see already how our header here leads into our 6 key nutrients. Okay, and then you're going to fill in information on each one of these. So for your homework tonight, you're doing carbs. Now, before I go any further, let me show you a different way to do this. So to me, this makes sense to me. Okay, I'm a visual learner. I like seeing things from the top to bottom. Okay, some of you guys might prefer a different approach where you might do like a spider web. Okay, so we're gonna call this one where it looks like this and we work down. We're gonna call it the tree method or the branch method. Okay, if you want to do it like this, we'll call this the spider web. Okay, so instead of everything going top to bottom, we have everything going from the center out. Okay, so like I said, either way works for me. I don't care how you do it, just as long as you do it and get it done, and it makes sense to you. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so from here you would just draw. You'd have more bubbles going out. Attached to your carbs. Your fats, minerals, vitamins, proteins, so on and so forth. Okay. But like I said, for me, I like doing the branch method. So I'm going to set that up very quickly. And once again, for your homework tonight, all you guys have to do is the carbs. Okay. So if we go through our notes, and now we did this in the other video, so if you feel like you're missing something, that's all we did. We went through each the notes, but for this time purpose, I'm doing just these carbs. Okay, so carbs are made out of simple, complex, and fiber. So those are three different types of carbs: so simple carbs, complex carbs, and fiber carbs. So knowing that, we have our simple carbs because it's connected to the carbs. We have our complex carbs. Whoops. Our complex carbs, because once again, connected to the carbs, and we have our fiber carbs. Okay. Now, one thing you guys can do, excuse me, one thing you guys can do, which I highly recommend, is if you click on one of these boxes, you can actually change the color of it. So maybe, now this is another thing I covered in the other video. So maybe you want your second tier of information to all be one color. Okay, so what I mean by that is you have your 6 key nutrients, and maybe you want everything in this row to be blue. Okay, maybe that's what makes sense in your head. Maybe that's how you can organize things better. Okay, so it would look like that, and then this row would all be another color. So you could follow that flow all the way down. Okay, so there's an option. Now, also an option is to make all of maybe your carbs one color. Okay, and then same thing with your fats. Maybe your fats will be all one color, and then your minerals all one color. So on and so forth until everything has their own color, and you don't really have to. You can follow the color all the way down because these are going to branch off. So even with these simple, complex, and fiber, we can branch off more of those. Okay, so you can see how this is starting to get very full already, and this is just day one. Okay, so eventually you'll probably have to spread these out a little bit more for you to get some more space. So if you want to start like that, feel free to. But this is basically what you're doing. Okay, so like I said, today is just the carbs. So going through our carbs information, carbs are starches and sugars found in foods which provide your body's main source of energy. Okay, it is responsible for 45 to 65% of all of our daily calories. So just because we went into simple, complex, and fiber carbs doesn't mean you don't need to know this other information just about carbs in general. Okay, so you're going to make sure you have that stuff on there. You're going to make sure you go into what a simple carb is, what a complex carb is, and what a fiber carb is. Okay. Going to the next slide. There we go. The body uses carbs when they are broken down into the simplest form. A simple sugar is created, aka glucose, and then used in the body as energy. If this is unused, it's stored and used later in intense activity. Okay. And I always get the question of, do we need examples, food examples in there? No, you guys do not. So this is just trying to get you to understand what a carb is. Okay. So you'll see food examples for everything, for each key nutrient on here. So don't get too caught up in the examples, but it's for your guys' knowledge to understand. If someone asks you what a food is, you can say, oh, it's a carb, protein, fat, so on and so forth. Okay. So you're going to be filling in this poplet accordingly, and we're doing just the carbs today. Okay. And then next week, like I said, we'll do the proteins and the fats. Then we'll do vitamins and minerals as well. Okay. But this is just a baseline start to get you guys to start designing these things, start to structure them how you want them to. And like I said in the other video, once again, a very important part is that you guys will be able to use these on the test. Okay, so whether that's a test in person or whether that's a test online, you guys are going to be able to use these poplets on your test. Okay, so really, if you're leaving out information, if you try to take the easy way out of this, you're just hurting yourself in the long run. Because a lot of this information is going to be on the test. All right. Yeah, I think that's basically it. So there should definitely be more. There should definitely be more here than what I have. I'm just trying to get you guys a basic understanding, and then you should be able to fill in the blanks, kind of by yourself. Okay. So I would assume your pop would look a little bit like this, maybe even some more. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, once again, please email me. You guys are already doing a really good job at that. Like I said, I'd rather you over communicate than just barely communicate with me. So keep shooting emails. I'm totally cool with answering them. Some of you guys emailed me late at night last night. I'll try to respond to some of those, but sometimes it's just not realistic if it's 8, 9, 10 o'clock for me to respond. But I try to get back to you as soon as I can this morning. Okay. So once again, this is what it should be looking like. You will screenshot this and submit it to the homework assignment, which is right here, week 1 assignment number 2, carbohydrates poplet. Okay. And if you cannot, if it doesn't let you submit it for some reason, you're going to take a screenshot and then email it to me. Okay. All right. I think that's it, guys. If you have any questions, once again, shoot me an email. All right. See ya.